guys to work for Nickelodeon? It's like a dream job.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
Yeah, I mean, on the very worst day, we're making cartoons. It's like, I can't tell you how many times we're on like a record or whatever, and I turn to Mark or whoever's sitting next to me and go, we're getting paid to do this.
Yeah, it's so nice because it's this little studio in East Burbank, and you go there and you're in just the world of Nickelodeon, and you have no distractions. You're just doing this wonderful job. It's great. There aren't a lot of people running in with their agendas and all this other stuff. It's just you're just doing the cartoon. It's just great.
So I only have a couple of questions. Okay, the future of animation in movies is going into CG animation. Okay, well, I mean, a lot of the movies are now already integrating CG animations in, Resident Evil and Hobbit and all those. How do you feel about as somebody who is an actor, okay, to be replaced with CG animation, and then maybe this person is doing your voice, who represents you as the actor, where you're playing another voice? I mean, it's starting to become very convoluted,
yes.
Where actors are now, famous actors are having voiceovers in certain animation movies. But then their likeness is being used maybe in another movie, and you might do the voice for that person. How do you feel about all of this? How do you see the future in CG animation and voiceovers?
Well, I think as actors, first of all, we're just happy if we have a job doing something. The future and the monetization of the entertainment industry will go where it's going to go. All we can do is the best we can and try and protect as much as we can what we do. But who knows? Maybe 50 years from now, to be an actor means you'll be down on the corner doing Shakespeare scenes with a cup. I don't know. We'll find out. Right now, they have to have human beings. They have to have people. So that's good enough for me, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of holograms are also being built right now overseas. So
yeah, who knows?
God knows where this goes, right? I mean,
one
they
of the
have
joys
voice
about
bots.
doing animation is you don't have to think about this.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
That's wonderful. But,
well, they do have voice bots now also. So
they probably sound like voice bots.
they do right now.
Yeah.
But that's why I was asking, where do you see this going in the future?
I don't have the insight or really any kind of technical skill to give you a qualified answer to that, and I find it terrifying.
But ultimately, creative people are always adaptable.
Oh yeah.
So wherever it goes, we'll find our place. Yeah.
Could be on the corner with a
Could
cup.
be. I could be just as happy.
It could be back in the
It could be
theater.
a virtual corner with a virtual cup.
Right, exactly.
Could be back in the theater. Never know.
Yeah, maybe it'll all go back to theater and people will,
Yeah, as long as we get to create, I think we're all happy.
we will always need writers
Right.
to
That's
crank
true.
stuff out, crank out content.
You're right.
So I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
Was huge for me growing up, for all of my friends growing up. So this is like really crazy for us right now. I'm like really nerding out.
Oh,
It doesn't happen very much. So.
awesome.
But yeah, so I'm curious as to you guys have been doing the roles for so long, and you guys have been working on the show for how long?
14 years this time.
Wow.
8.
Wow.
Well, we recorded the pilot in '97.
So where were you guys when you found out you were going to be doing these roles, or how did that process happen?
I know for me, I remember auditioning, getting called back, and meeting Steve Hillenberg in a conference room. Like there was a big conference room with a mic on a table, and I was really nervous.
And a little cassette deck.
And a little cassette deck.
Steve had that one of those little
Yeah.
those little cassette decks. That's how he
That he
rolled.
recorded our auditions.
Yeah.
And I remember during the callback, there was a fly, of course, because life, right? And there was a fly bothering me the whole time, right? And I never kill anything ever. Like anything, I take it outside, right? But I smacked that fly, man. And it died on the stand with my script. And I was so mortified. Like I was so focused on the fly, right, that I wasn't paying attention. And I was so sure I blew it. I was so sure when I left you know, it would just never go anywhere, and I just ruined everything because I killed something.
So you killed, you killed the bug and
I
the
killed
job.
the bug and the job. And then, yeah, they called, I don't know, a couple weeks later and said that I had gotten it. I was like, oh, what are the odds? Yeah.
There was nothing normal about this job. We did the pilot, we recorded the pilot, they fully produced the pilot, and then we all got a copy of the pilot before Nickelodeon had even decided to pick it up. They sent us I got a copy at the house, and I had no idea. I was such a dummy, I had no idea what the cartoon was. We recorded it in one session. It was this really goofy thing. Who's ready? Who's ready? I thought it was for 3-year-olds. I didn't even, and then I watched it and my jaw hit the ground. I went, this is fantastic. Oh my god. Oh, I hope this gets a chance, And we were all very lucky. Nickelodeon, decided to pick it up shortly thereafter, and then we did the first season. But it was really handled, I think, in a really wonderful way because Steve was really able to develop.
Yeah, I felt like we were a sleeper hit. We kind of eased into it, and Steve had more creative control over it than some because of that, right? Because, I don't know.
I think so. I mean, I didn't know it was a success until I would go to the elementary school to pick up my girls, and all these kids would come around, Patrick, I went, jeez. I never got that from any other cartoon I ever worked on. I felt like a beetle rolling into the elementary school, and then I started, I remember the Wall Street Journal had an article, Time Magazine had this article. Wow, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's very surreal. It's a really interesting experience because, I don't know, for you, as much as we've been a part of it, it still feels like it's this phenomenal thing over there. I don't know how to explain it.
Totally.
It's hard for me to grasp. It became so big. I don't know, it's interesting.
It's big everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And
Okay, I'm right in the middle of it. Give me a second.
The cool tattoo.
Okay, give me a second.
Love the tattoo.
And every time that you guys, 17 years about, it's been going back for season after season. Every time you guys go back for another season, what do you think? Like, is it, you guys expect at this point to go back? It's gonna be forever. Like,
well, I'll tell you what. If the day ever comes where it's not,
Yeah.
I need a padded room somewhere, prepped and ready, because I am gonna completely fall apart.
it's amazing that it's
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't even imagine now a world without it.
Pretty rare territory to be involved in.
Who's that creeping
It's
in?
such a transient.
Watch out, Squidward's coming.
Just wondering how the other half lives over there. Over
I
there.
like need video.
Good to see you.
Thank you. So, what's it like for you guys to go into work every day? Like, what's a play-by-play of your day producing the show?
It's on the very worst day we're making cartoons. It's always fun for me. It's like, occasionally do you like herding cats when you're dealing with any crew full of people. But what we do day to day, just making funny. You can't.
Do you ever have to do you have some way of jumpstarting that where you just don't feel funny when you're coming into work and you go, you're in a bad mood, you got this stress and this stress.
Our building is a video arcade.
Yeah. No, actually, it's usually just being in the room with the other funny people. Because we have such a funny crew, and they will come up with something, even if it's about the hardship you went through that morning that made you into that foul mood. They'll come up with something to make it funny.
Yeah, at any one time, there's so many episodes in different stages of production.
Yeah.
There's always something amazing and funny to look at that'll bring our spirits up, even on our worst days.
Yeah, because Mark and I chase it from the concept through delivering through post. So we've always got it's you never know where your day is going to take you, except you know where you're supposed to be.
I can't overstate how remarkable that is to be doing something that has this kind of longevity, and to be at this place where these guys are still so creative and coming up with such fresh, funny stuff, and to not just be a cynical kind of crank out, well, we know this works, just do it again, but a little differently, It's just really great. It's so rare it's so rare because everything gets self-conscious and precocious and cynical, you know, and so we managed to avoid that.
Do you guys have any favorite episodes, just kind of off the top of your head?
I like Reef Blower. That's like
It's fun.
And of the early ones, in the imagination when they're in the box, that was one of my favorites. The more recent, Whirly Brains, Married to Money, and Mimic Madness.
Nice. And I'll go with the new Halloween special.
Absolutely. That is looking great.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
So here's my last question. What's the last book you read?
Oh, I've been reading. Actually, I go on. I'm either reading nonfiction or fiction. I go on Jags, and right now I'm in the midst of fiction. And I've been reading a bunch of Jack Reacher books by Lee Childs. So I've been reading a bunch of Jack Reachers, but my oldest daughter's been nagging me to read it's the 100-Year-Old Man Who Crawled Out the Window, something like that. So that's next. So that's where I am reading.
Because I think people have a certain idea how you are because the voices, the people the cartoons you represent. So sometimes it's different when you have a life outside the cartoon. That's why I ask these questions. Everybody freaking out. Don't freak out.
That's always a revealing thing.
I think
about a person.
so.
Yeah,
I think so. What have you read last besides the Bush?
Right now I'm reading this book called The Sellout. It's really funny.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a comic,
Never-
like kinetic stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty dark though.
Oh, like a twisted kind of. So it's fiction.
It's fiction.
What about you, sir?
Currently, I'm reading a thing called the Far Away Empty, and it's kind of a hard-boiled crime novel.
Ooh.
And mine would be Goodnight Moon. Because I
You don't get to read adult stuff for a while.
Not yet, right? You have to wait.
Oh, I love Goodnight Moon. Both my girls just knew it. They both memorized it, and I didn't. If I left out one word,
They know.
But I'm glad everybody's reading. A lot of people are not
Absolutely.
reading.
Oh no, it's sometimes off my phone, but I'm reading.
I do all of it.
Before we hop off, can I videotape Bill doing a quote?
Oh, sure.
Can I have you ask if mayonnaise is an instrument to my friend's little dad? Okay, Eddie.
is mayonnaise an instrument?
Wish I was back in Texas. The ocean's no place for a squirrel.
Thank you. We can hold on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.